Welcome. Here's something that I've learned over the last few days. If you're living in the state of Texas and you're unaware of this, did you know that Texas is what one lawyer referred to as a landlord state? And how I took that as landlords have more rights than you do. They have more rights than tenants. So if there's a dispute and you go to court, they tend to side with landlords more than they do the tenant. And there's really not a whole hell of a lot you can do about it. So let me try to explain what's going on here with me. You know, I've been living in this house here in Watauga, Texas for a little over a year now. We signed a lease at the end of November of 2022. So weekend that we moved in, I think it was a Friday or a Saturday. We found this house down in Watauga. Beautiful home. You know, it's old, but it's in great shape, per se. The whole inside was completely remodeled. It's got a nice big backyard. It's got a decent sized front yard, 2-car garage. Very, very quiet neighborhood. Everybody minds their own business. Nobody bothers you, and such. Well, the first weekend that we were here, we were unable to use the water, and we were also unable to use the restrooms. Why? Everything was backing up. The kitchen sink was backing up. The toilets were backing up. The bathtub was backing up. Couldn't figure out what was going on. So I immediately put in a maintenance request. Well, they came in, I believe it was that Monday. It was a husband and wife, you know, handyman, you know. They immediately opened up, took the cap off the main plumbing line out here in front of the house. They ran this long snake through it. They actually found a clog and they cleared it. Cool, everything was fine. As long as we've been here, we were told if you got any issues with the house, you go up to the website and you submit a maintenance request. Now, this house that we're living in is owned by a gentleman who will remain nameless, and it's managed by a realtor company who I will also leave nameless. Okay? So whenever there's an issue, you know, I go up to the website, submit a request, they take care of it. Now, we've had them here numerous times. We've had them here for the kitchen sink. Now, remember, the house has been remodeled. New walls, new flooring, new cabinets, new sinks, new toilets, new shower, new tub, all that stuff. Well, the kitchen sink actually came detached from that new counter. It's actually moving around. So we had them fix that. We had an issue with one of the outside lights hanging from the side of the house there. They came and fixed that. We had an electrical outlet, a GFI outlet go bad. They came and fixed that. I've had them here twice for the AC. The first time the compressor was bad, they replaced the compressor because we weren't getting any cooling. Well, I wanted them out here to check to make sure that the AC system was fine for the summertime. So when the guy came out, he found out the compressor was bad. He had to get approval. He replaced that. And once that was up and running, and then the hotter weather started to come in, we weren't getting very strong airflow out of the vents, and it wasn't cool at all. So we sent him back out here again. This time he had to go inside. There's a cabinet inside the hallway that houses the furnace for the gas heat, and on top of that is the coils for the AC. He had to take that out, and he had to wash it completely because, as he said, it looked like a drywall mud. In other words, when they hang in the drywall and stuff in here, there must have been dust all over the place, which would be natural. Well, the dust got everywhere. It completely clogged up the hose system, so he had to take it all out and he had to give it a good bath. After that, it seemed okay. As the summer wore on and the temperature got hotter, we had him out here again because something just didn't seem right. We wanted him to double check and make sure everything was working fine. Because I know a guy at work who had his air conditioner worked on, a month later it died out again. Okay? But the biggest issue we've had him here for plumbing issues. Besides the blockage that they corrected, we had him here at a time because when my daughter runs her bathtub, and when she's turning on the water just for the tub itself, the shower would engage at the same time. So they sent the same couple out here again. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. They tried to replace the little switch there that switches from tub to shower, to no avail. They said it's got to be something high pressure buildup in back of the wall. They'd have to open that up to check it. Heard no more about it after that. Then 4 times since we've been here, where your wash machine hose goes into the drain in your laundry room, we had water actually shoot up out of the hose and flood the laundry room floor. I had to go out and buy a wet dry vac to clean it all up. Okay? And then, so I had them in here to check that. Couldn't find anything wrong. Again, they go to the main line out front, see if there's a clog. Nothing. It seemed kind of odd. Well, sometime after that, it happened again. I believe this time, it was simply after my wife took a shower. Strange enough, you take a shower, and the water backs up. As it's draining down the drain, it just comes up the other drain. Odd as it is, but that's what's happened. And since we've been here, we've been having a lot of issues with the water draining very slow in the master bedroom shower, the master bedroom sink, the guest room tub. I can't tell you how many gallons of a Drano I've used on this situation. And it just seemed awfully odd that it would do this. So I think we had him here one other time for that. I don't quite remember. And somebody did mention to me that if it happens again, they're gonna have to run a camera system down the drains to find out there's got to be an obstruction or something going on in there. So time goes on. I know it was November 22nd. I hear from the property manager asking, "Hey Chris, are you going to sign another lease?" I said, "Well, yeah, we're going to sign another lease. At what cost?" Simply meaning, well, how much more do they want a month? No problem, we'd sign a lease. Well, come December 1st, when I went up and paid my rent, I didn't see nothing up on my account for signing a new lease. And there was nothing in my email. And then on the 18th of December, I think it was. I can't remember what happened I think that was the day I noticed inside my email, there was a notice for move out instructions for XXXX for where we're living now. I'm like, that's awfully strange. I said, we're not moving out. We're supposed to be getting a lease. So I contacted her and asked her, why am I getting a move out notice? I got no response. So now we're getting closer to Christmas. So, actually that was on December 8th I found it. On the 18th, I sent her up a video showing her that after running my garbage disposal in the kitchen after washing some dishes, that all the water from the kitchen sink came up through that drainage tube again in the laundry room, hit the floor. Had to mop all that up. And just to let you know, all my food when we're done eating, it goes down it goes into the trash can. It doesn't go down the garbage disposal. The only thing that goes down there is a little bit of scraps when you're rinsing your plate. Well, that's it. It's the only time it happens. And then it happened again when my wife was doing dishes. So there's 4 times that water hit the floor. So there is an issue in this house. And I also sent them video of standing water inside my shower, not draining whatsoever. Okay? And another issue we've had, in the springtime, I think it was, I replaced the heating coil to my dryer. My dryer is 17 years old. I've been servicing my own appliances for years. Matter of fact, since I've been married. If the appliance isn't under warranty, I fix it on my own. The idea was we just wanted to get it through tax season. We're going to replace the wash machine to complement replace the dryer to complement the new washer that we have. So I couldn't figure out why my clothes weren't drying. I figured, okay, something let loose. Let me test everything, replace whatever went bad. So there's 5 items inside that dryer that actually dries the clothes. You got a moisture sensor, you got a thermostat, you got a what they call a thermofuse, you got a high temperature sensor, you got another fuse, and then you got the heating element itself. I took everything out, bench test everything tested fine, but I said to be on the safe side, I went ahead and I replaced all the parts. Put it all back together. Guess what? Clothes ain't drying again. So I stepped outside the house and I realized there's no air coming up out of the vent on the side of the house from the laundry room, from that dryer hose. There's a clog somewhere up inside there. Now, this vent goes about 40 feet. Goes goes 8 feet up on the inside of the wall in the laundry room, goes across the ceiling, into the garage, across the ceiling, and it comes out the side of the house. That's awfully long. So, because at the time I was also getting a lot of water on the floor from the dryer, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, there's water inside the dryer hose because of all the moisture. Because the air is not able to escape, it's just turning into moisture. So when I submit requesting for that, it said this has got to be taken care of. I said there's something going on, it's got to be resolved. So they actually send out an actual plumber this time. So I showed the plumber the video of the water all over the laundry room floor. He looked right at it and says, there needs to be a camera inspection. It's as simple as that. Then they had me go into the kitchen, turn the water on full blast is what I did. And he also turned on the shower in the master bath. He went outside, he took the cover off the drainage out front. He looked at the flow of the water. He said, it's not flowing properly. He says, we got to do an inspection. So then he came inside and he was looking at the dryer situation. He went up into the crawl space upstairs. He just looked at it and he's like, what the heck is going on here? He took a look at the whole thing. He said, man, this is a mess. He said, all that's got to come back out. He said, that's all got to be redone. He says, you definitely got a clog in here somewhere. He said it could be anywhere inside this thing. And that's it. And so I finally get a hold of the property manager the day after Christmas. And she told me, ask her, what's going on with the lease situation? How come I didn't get a new lease? She says, well, the property owner wants to go month to month. I originally balked at it because of the fact that there's an extra fee added into that. When my own opinion is the fee is because, hey, we've got so many maintenance requests in here. He's going to charge me the little extra. So if there's an issue, there you go. He's got the money to send out whoever he needs to fix this place. And it's pretty sad because by the end of, she did tell me she was going to call him on that Wednesday and get a clarification on what's going on month to month or the lease. And I'm going to stay here month to month. I figured we'd stay here month to month. Tax season comes through, get our taxes done. My wife gets her bonus from her job in March. Fine. We'll find something better. Even though this is really not a bad house. It's just got some issues that they're not really tending to. Okay. And I also blame the property management because they weren't not sending the right people here with all the plumbing issues. Okay. So, the 30th of December, I get another move out notice. Be out by the end of January, which it's not going to happen. I'm not moving out of here until I'm financially able to move out of here. I've even spoken with attorneys. Attorneys did basically say on a month-to-month lease, which apparently is what they put you on, they can tell you to leave in 30 days. And I think that's bullshit myself. We didn't do anything wrong here. We've done everything that we were told to do. Rent's paid on time every month. The property, as far as the lawn being mowed, weeds being trimmed, the yard being raked up, no trash. We've done everything we're supposed to do like we own this house. Okay? Hell, I even went as far as putting in a storm door on the house because the storm door that they had on here was such a disaster. It was actually dangerous. It was falling apart, and there were some things on it that were broken that when I did ask them about that when we first moved in, they said, nah, they were just going to take it off. And I didn't like that, so I wouldn't put my own on. Because they did say if you do something to improve the property, that's all on you. We didn't mind. We even put those covers that cover the porch light in the front and in the back of the house. I also put a spotlight up on the house. Okay? We're not doing anything wrong. We're actually enjoying the house. Well, I just think it's pretty sad that you basically don't have no rights. Now, what I was told today, because I called Texas Workforce Commission, I talked to a lady from the part of the division that deals with housing discriminations, and she says they're supposed to fix stuff within 7 days of you submitting it. She goes, you can take them to court and file a complaint and maybe get it resolved. And I'm like, is it really worth it now? I mean, I figured I'd give them a couple of weeks because they really need to find out whether we're staying month to month or are they forcibly going to kick us out of here on the 31st, which I think is crazy. In the middle of winter, I have no money available to move until I get through tax season, and they can just throw you out like that. I think that's pretty sad. This whole situation could have been handled differently. I don't know if I could have handled it differently because as far as what I can see, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. I just think that they're going about it the wrong way. I mean, I really think that the realty company, who I'm still leaving out of it for the time being, if they would have sent in the right people to solve the issues with the plumbing from the get-go, we would not be in the situation that we're in as of right now. So I just thought I'd bring it up to you, let you know that Texas is considered a landlord state. In other words, you have a tenant have less rights than the landlord does in a dispute, especially if you've done nothing wrong. I hope that sits well with y'all.